Race number 5, the Minolytical Miss Andretti Stakes, over 1,200 metres. Terrific sprint race, only 7 horses going to post. Time to go at 3:20. Let's go back and have a look at the last start victory of Word.
All fried up to the outside, trying to make up ground on the leaders. Latoria's in front, not for long though. She hit the wall at the 200. No Name City gathered her in. Word chimes in down the outside. Power Princess all fried up behind them. Word with 100 to go, kicks clear. Power Princess under the big weight is starting to gun it down. Word, Power Princess, Word will cling on.
And there was Word clinging on over the concluding stages of that race. There was a protest fired in by the runner-up, Power Princess, but it was quickly dismissed, and Word got his deserved black-type victory, I thought. This horse has been such a consistent galloper since he's been in WA. I think his last 25 starts, he hasn't missed a check, and I thought he was a really well-deserved winner of that race. And it was interesting, they rode him with a sit, and he showed a good turn of foot at the top of the straight, and it'll be interesting what they do in this race on Saturday, because I went and did my speed maps. Latoria's obviously looks the leader. She'll go to the front, and I think she'll put up better display than what she showed last start. She went in that race, first up, no trial, and she also, she cast a plate. She pulled up with a minor hoof injury.
Struck herself,
yeah. So you can put a line through the effort, and then I think they might then have to sit outside her with Word, or do they try to take a sit and get him third the fence? So it'll be interesting with the tactical battle early, but Latoria and Word do look the speed horses. If the track's playing pretty fair and horses can make ground, I'm pretty keen on Power Princess. I thought her first up effort was just a slashing effort in that Word race, Marty. And
yeah, she was, the 59 kilograms.
That's a concern, but she did carry 59 first up. And look, I thought a trial going into that race was really good as well. So it could be a tactical battle, and if they do walk, I actually don't mind it too much as well, because Power Princess does have a really good turn of foot, so she can make up a couple of lengths really quickly if they are walking. So look, I think she's the one to beat for me. Word, as we've touched on already, he's just really, really tough horse. He's in the mix as well.
What do we do with the Kid Choisi? He could hold a little position in this race from Barrier 1. P. Harvey.
His first up run last campaign in the Prince of Wales, it was a slashing effort.
Got back, ran on.
Got back, he just flew home. So Barrier 1, you're right. Now they might be able to use this barrier and sit him third the fence. And if they walk, he's definitely in the mix, because he's there in the spot already. All
fried up. Blinkers go on, and you would think that's a great move. Spoke to Stan Bates after that last race, and he said she just doesn't get around the Ascot turn.
Well, I think her record at the track just basically says that at all. She's had 8 starts for 1 win and about 5 placings. So at Belmont, she just has that ability you can just hold her up a little bit longer, and then she can just go bang and let rip. And
where you've got to get moving here around the cambered bend, don't you?
You do, and look, she has run a lot of good races at Ascot though, but she just hasn't been able to get over them. So
Blackfriars, blinkers go on. It's a great recipe.
Yeah, it'd be interesting what they do with her. From Barrier 7, would you just think they just drop her out last?
It has to be back and running on. That's her style.
Maybe jump on the back of Power Princess back on the at the top of the straight. So yeah, she's definitely in the mix, and as I think her price is about $5, it suggests punters will be pretty keen to be on her again. As we've already touched on, Latoria's the big improver, and I think she will be able to find the front. And if she's overcome those injuries and she can start rolling from the 600 metres, I think she's one to catch. Then you've got probably the 2 horses stepping up in grade, Mabel Grace and Sir Halliwell. I think Mabel Grace has come back an absolute treat for Adam Durant this preparation. I think she's going really well. Her effort in the Bunbury Stakes was good. She was just collared right in the shadows of the winning post. So from Barrier 2, she'll be right over the speed.
Right there,
And Sir Halliwell's effort in the Bunbury Stakes also was pretty good. Probably find this class a little bit too strong, but I have to admit, it wouldn't be that surprising to see him win the race. So I think 7 runners all have some type of claims. Cracking race. I'm going to stick with a mare who I just love, and that's number 1, Power Princess.
Okay, we've got a wonderful quaddie, and it kicks off on race number 6 with the Group 3 $250,000 Sky Vodka WA Oaks. 2,400 metres, time to go 3:55. Disappointing field, only 9 runners at this stage to go to post. The obvious 2 at the top of the betting there, Hoops, coming through the Natasha Stakes. And, I guess the question to you is it the Peters horses? Is it one from left field, the Social Network, that can make a difference and bridge the gap against Kaguna and Pop Culture?
Normally Oaks fields, well, you just go into the race and go, there's a $1.80 favourite, this just will be winning. We had Dreamway last year, you can just go through them. Impressive Journey, Grand Journey, these things just win. This year's a little bit different, and Off last start, you'd think Kaiguna will be extremely hard to beat. My only concern with this race is this is going to be run at a completely different tempo to what that race, the Natasha was. That was just.
But who? Okay, so who does it suit then?
I think Pop Culture, to be honest.
Okay.
I think it really does, because I think she's more of a miler. I think she's probably a horse with a better turn of foot.
She can tug a bit.
She can. Yeah, well, I suppose that would be very detrimental. If she did tug and pull over 2,400 metres, well, she'd be in a lot of trouble. But I can't see any speed in this race. The only horse I think could probably take up the running was going to be the rank outsider, and that's a Bag of Stars.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think this should be able to really...
It's going to take you too far in the race, isn't
No,
it?
that's right. And I don't think they'll be wanting to go at breakneck speed. But if you look back at that Natasha run, I think Elite Bell will improve in this race because...
Was it just... Victim of circumstances, was he caught a couple of spots too close?
I think it was complete victim of circumstances. I like the horse on the day, and I backed her, and I thought from her draw she's just going to be able to posse up in the perfect spot. But once those two horses went out really quickly, there was nothing else he could do.
You didn't want to be on her then, did you?
Oh, no way. She was having to tow rope the field up to them about 10, 15 lengths in front of them, and then Elite Bell was having to pull the field up. And you could tell at about the 800 metre mark that once she got there, William Pike didn't want to then just give her a gut buster and let her rip. He had to hold her up. The whole field went round her, and then she's lost all her momentum. And I thought on the line she was actually coming back at them. So I have to admit, this is probably the first year for a long time I'm not actually 100% sold on this race having a real definitive position, because I just don't know how this race is going to unfold. But let's go from the top. Kaiguna, I think she's had a wonderful preparation by Fred Kersley, and I think that she is the one to beat, and I think she's the deserved favourite. I think she's probably the better stayer out of the two, Pop Culture and herself. So I think Kaiguna is clearly the horse to beat.
Is she the best horse in the race?
That's a really tricky question. I think
she's come through the Guineas. She's been now to place in the WA Champion fillies. She didn't do a lot wrong through the spring and summer.
What they did with her was they saved her up. They missed those earlier races.
There's a sense of timing about
there is. So look, I don't think there is too much between Pop Culture and Kaiguna. Maybe if they race over a mile next campaign, it'll be interesting to see who the better horse is. I think Pop Culture is I think she will be a very good miler going forward, because she's got a good turn of foot and she can just flash home. But
I love her.
Yep. So as we've already touched on, I think the speed could suit Pop Culture, but if you have said that if they go really slow and she can tug and pull, well, that would be extremely detrimental. Dark Miss, I think she's the second string of the two. Now, I like the horse, but I'm not 100% sure she will run out of really...
change?
The gear.
Just trying to get something out of it.
Trying to get
something extra.
That's right. She was held up last start as well, so she didn't get the momentum in the race. But look, she's in the mix. I think she's got top 4 claims. The X Factor horse is the Social Network.
Could it lead?
Well, I have to admit, I think she's a better horse taken with a sit. I liked her last 2 starts, especially in the Breeders' Plate, where she flooded home, and then last start against the older horses, which, let's be frank, it's never easy for a 3-year-old filly to take on the older horses. It doesn't matter where they race at. It's very hard for them to actually be competitive, but she was flashing home. So I think she's a better horse ridden with a sit, but who knows? If they decide to go to the front, I think she will run out a strong 2,400 metres. She's a pros in there with a chance. Her effort behind Kaiguna and Pop Culture was pretty solid, and there's a bit of a sense of timing about her. She's obviously stepped up from the 1,600 metres to the 2,200 metres, and thought she acquitted herself really well. Elite Bell, I'm not giving up on her. We've already touched on that. I think her best chance is probably just drop out the back, and then once these moves start coming from Kaiguna and Pop Culture, is just get on their back, and then she has the last crack at them this time. That's the way I can see her winning. First hit effort last start was pretty good. I think she probably lacks the class of the best horses in the race. And then we've already touched on Bag of Stars down the bottom, and we can't forget Opera Sierra. Thought she was disappointing last start, but I think she's probably the real stayer in the race. And my concern with her is that I don't think this race will be around like a true staying event. So if it was a really strong 2,400 metres, I think she'd have a better chance.
So in what you're describing as a bit of a tricky WA Oaks this year, sponsored by Sky Vodka, which way are we going?
We'll stick with the favourite Kaiguna. I think she just will be. I think she's a sense of timing about her, and I think she will really enjoy the 2,400 metres.
What's the betting there, Hoops? Early betting
about
on player?
$3, $3.20. Take your pick, the top 2, and then it goes down to Elite Bell, who's about $6.57.